let's talk about today. It's the anniversary when the Supreme Court made that historic decision to overturn Roe v. Wade. That was actually 2 years ago today. So this is a big issue for a lot of women around the country, abortion. How will he handle that on Thursday?
Well, look, Donald Trump obviously nominated 3 Supreme Court justices to the bench who made the right decision and actually sent Roe v. Wade out and said, listen, this is up to the states. It shouldn't be up to a small group of people in Washington, D.C.
Yeah, and that's a consistent position she has on everything. It's why she's perfectly happy with states to decide how they want to interpret the Second Amendment. And if that means banning all guns, it's to the states. They love the states. No, but they are right about one thing. It is the 2-year anniversary of that decision. You know, regardless of what you think of it, it's been 2 years now. And it's just on that anniversary, knowing all that we know now about what has happened, the people who theoretically should have been able to, get through the exceptions for their own health, their own, continuation of their own life and haven't been able to, the many states that have banned it. Just having these 2 conservative women who have done so much to make themselves look exactly like each other. It's the only acceptable way you can look in right-wing media, and they've worked very hard. Talking about how awesome it is that they have fewer rights than they did 2 years ago. It's strange and it's surreal. And it's the line that you have to take if you want to be in right-wing media or if you want to be the head of the RNC.
The video will continue in just a moment, but first I have a message for you. TYT needs your help. Membership is vital to survival, so please go to tyt.com/team and become a member today.
That's the position that the right has. They are trying to minimize this in the election, while at the same time, Donald Trump is trying to congratulate himself. So they're in a very weird position. I want to give an example of that in this video.
Some states are a little bit more conservative and some states are much more liberal. If the radical Democrat extremes get their way, they will have a federal law for abortion.
Okay, so some are a little more conservative, as in previously you had control of your body and now you don't under any circumstances. That's what's a little bit more conservative. You don't have control of your body. And then much more liberal is they'll have a law that guarantees a right to abortion. So the extreme thing is the status quo of the last half century. And the not so extreme thing is you no longer have any control under any circumstance under your body. That's their message. Francesca, we'll see how that works for them in this election. But now that it's been 2 years, reflecting on that, what do you think?
I mean, we've seen the results, right? Like we've seen the amount of pregnant people, not people seeking an abortion, but pregnant people seeking a healthy child who've been turned away at ERs around the country because those doctors and administrators, more aptly, are worried that should they need to provide emergency medical care in the form of an abortion to this pregnant person, that they would be sued. And so those women are bleeding out, they're miscarrying in bathrooms, adjacent to the hospital, or they're straight up being refused care. So, I mean, it's sick what's happened in 2 years. It's truly dystopian what's been happening in 2 years. And many people, and look, I think it's important to know that the people who have these stories or who know someone who has these stories are in red states. These are people who largely, and not completely, right? Because we know that also blue states have clamped down, but these are states that Trump needs to win, or they're purple states that Trump needs to win. And if I were Biden going into the debate, I would bring up a 7th grader who is now a mom of a 1-year-old, right? I would bring up these cases, these extreme cases that actually, honestly, we don't hear enough of because it happens far more than it gets reported, of children who are forced to carry a pregnancy to term. So yeah. I'm surprised, John, that even Fox News was like, so Lara, 2 years. Like you wonder, like, was there an angle there? What was the deal? Why even discuss it? Because Republicans all know it's a losing issue for them.
Yeah, it's just such a weird, like, I don't understand. You just have fewer rights. And that's awesome. Meanwhile, and we're not gonna go into a long thing about this, like Elon Musk has many of his acolytes on Twitter thinking that like Star Wars having women star in the show is a war on men. has nothing to do with it. But that's an aggression. You attacked me. You've taken something that was mine. This is just fewer rights than you used to have. And they think that it's awesome, or they have to pretend that they think it's awesome. They have to go up and say, yes, it's great that my rights were taken away, and soon I may not be able to use contraception if I want, and soon I may not be able to get divorced if I want. And all of this is great. I love the direction the country is going in. Please keep paying me. That's a very weird position to be in. And it's a very weird position for your party to hold when you know what the American people actually think about it. We've had all of these ballot measures. We've had all of these votes ever since then. Have they won a single one? But again, it doesn't matter. Yes, they have not been able to convince anyone that it is better to outlaw abortion, but they weren't able to do that for the last 50 years, and they still got what they want because we fundamentally don't live in a democracy. According to the most recent polling, 60-40, it should be legal in all or most cases. Okay, and for people who abortion is a major factor in their vote, they're going 65-34. That's Biden over Trump. It's far more important for Democrats than for the other groups. I assume for Republicans, it's not that important because they're terrified of the concerns, maybe, or because they already got what they want. I don't know. Members make a difference here at TYT. You help make the show happen, and we see you in the chat with your loyalty badge. Click the join button to become a member today.